Hello everyone, this is Prasoon Tripathi and for the assignment of the project work, today I will briefly explain the containers, Docker, container versus virtualization, portability and remote deployment, which are the important concepts in the virtualization and cloud computing. So simply let's start with containers. What are containers? Let's first understand what are containers. So when a developer builds an application on their computer, it runs perfectly on the system. But when the same application is moved to another computer or server, it may fail because the required software libraries or configuration or environment are different. So this is the solution of that. To overcome this problem, container came into the picture. A container packages an application together with all its libraries, dependencies, and runtime configuration files so that the application can run consistently on any system, platform independent. A simple analogy is like shipping a container in a transport. No matter whether the container travels by the truck, ship, train, everything inside the container remains same. Similarly, a software container keeps the application environment consistent everywhere. Right. Okay. Now coming towards the second point, the exact definition of the container. A container is a lightweight and isolated environment that includes an application and all its dependencies, allowing it to run consistently across the different computing environments. Containers share the same operating system kernel but run application in isolated spaces. Now, as we understood what are containers, how it overcome the problem of the portability. Now, the second term which we have used here at the starting is the Docker. What is Docker? The most widely used container platform is Docker. Docker helps developer to create, manage, and run containers easily. They are the important components of the Docker. The three major important components of the Docker. The first is the Docker image. A Docker image is like a blueprint or the template that contains the application or required dependencies. Second is the Docker container. A container is the running instance of the Docker image, and third thing is the Docker engine. This is the software that actually runs and manages the containers of the system. Using Docker, developers can package an application once and run it anywhere, anytime. Okay. In virtual cloud computing, there is another term which is virtualization. So now we have already learned the virtualization. Let's understand the difference between the containers and the virtualization. Before containers became popular, what was the means to isolating something? What was the procedure for that? So virtualization was mainly the solution or the only option available at that point of time, and it is done through virtual machines VMs. So in virtual machine VMs, every VM is having its own operating system, its own libraries, application. This makes virtual machine very heavy and resource consuming because every operating system has is running. It is using cores and occupying space, occupying RAM. So it is resource intensive. But containers are different. They are working differently on comparison with the virtual machine. Instead of running full operating system for each application, containers share the same host operating system kernel to run. Uh, and just because of the this thing, it's not having three different operating system. It is lightweight, it is faster to start, and more efficient in using the system resources. Okay, so we can understand this with a simple analogy. A virtual machine is like a separate house where each house is having its own infrastructure. But container is like a apartment in a building where multiple apartments share the same building structure but remains independent from each other. So this is the difference. It is an entirely different house. All virtual machines having different infrastructure, but in case of the containers, it's an apartment in a building, the same infrastructure, but still they are independent from each other. Now coming towards the point of portability, that is the major issue which overcomes by virtual machines and containers. So what was the issue with the developers previously? I have developed some application, it is working fine in my application, but it is not working in some other application or the server. So it means there's a portability issue, dependencies issue. So it is overcome by the containers. So probably in if something is working in my machine, it will be working in my company server as well, a cloud platform as well, and in some others developers uh, laptop or machine as well. How container is supporting in this? The container is supporting in this way that portability means that an application packaged inside a container can run on different platform without any modification. It contains all the dependencies with it, so now you're free to move around and run it anywhere. Now coming towards the another major benefit of a container or the virtualization, that is remote deployment. So how it is helpful in that, if we understand the process of further deploying the container in the Docker, or how the things are going on, we will understand the deployment, how it makes it easy and portable. So the usual process is just like the first, the developer creates a Docker image containing the application and everything. Second, the image is uploaded to a container registry like Docker Hub or something. Third, the server or the cloud system downloads that particular image. Finally, the container runs on the remote server. It has been downloaded running on the remote server. This allows the companies to quickly deploy application across multiple servers or the cloud environments without impacting the performance or the failure. So in this way, we can say that portability was a outcome of that, and running at a remote location, deploying at the remote location, lightweight. So these are the some of the benefits of virtual machine and specifically containers. Now coming towards the conclusion of this, sorry, to conclude, containers are an important technology in modern cloud computing. They provide lightweight application packaging, faster startup, better resource hardware or the machine resource efficiency, portability across platforms, and easy remote deployments. So, and for the containers, the tool which we are using is Docker. So tools like Docker have made container technology widely used in modern software development and cloud infrastructure. And this way, these are integral part of the virtual cloud computing. The containers, Docker, and the difference between the VM and containers. Thank you from my side. This is the thing which has been made for the project and assignment, and signing off. Thank you very much.